everybody. We've got game number 2 going on here between Muggs is Mexican on Legion side and TSR the Smurf Rapers on Hellborn. First game, quite a good one. We had that TDL, of course, going at 760 gold per minute. Pretty insane farm, managing to carry her team extremely effectively as nobody else really in the game anything close to what she had. So it just became a situation of TDL against the entire Legion team, and TDL sort of won, and the rest of the Hellborn was like, okay, that works for us. So we'll see if we can pull off a series sweep in favor of Muggs is Mexican here, or if TSR will be able to pull it back and tie it up, go to a game 3. Bans are out: Kraken, Warbeast, Engineer, and Ophelia. So last game we saw Kraken, Warbeast, Keeper the Forest, and Ophelia. But this game, no, Tempest was banned out as well. Kraken was not banned? I think Warbeast was banned. Kraken was not banned, obviously. So Kraken and G getting traded for Tempest to Keeper. So we'll see if they do anything about those heroes. We got a soft pick Tempest here on Hellborn and a soft pick Keeper here. Sorry, soft pick Tempest on Legion and a soft pick Keeper on Hellborn. Regardless, bans are pretty sensible. Nothing crazy going out there by any means. Like, once again, Kraken not really a first pick ban or first ban for me, but certainly a lot of versatility. I can understand why they want to take him out. But that first pick on Legion is Monkey King. Now, obviously we saw Monkey King a ton all over the place before he got nerfed. His cooldowns got increased a little bit, which really hurt him because he is so reliant on continuously casting everything and flip-flopping around and being annoying as shit to deal with. But since then, it hasn't really been an extremely large amount of carry Monkey Kings, Initiator Monkey Kings. You just haven't seen him at all. We will see him here. We did see him, I think, once in Diamond Cycle 9 or something like that. Did pretty well, so by no means is the hero not viable anymore, I don't think. It's just he's not as good as he once was, and people were scared off by that. So it's very possible he's still entirely viable and still can do just as well as he used to, but people were like, oh, he took nerfs, let's not pick him anymore. Regardless, their second pick will be that Tempest, so go in the jungler this time, as of course last time they ran a dual support lineup with Torture and Cersei. Hellborn pick up Keeper Parasite here, so not the greatest combination in my opinion. Keeper's really like, oh, I'm going to lock people down. Parasite's like, well, that's great, I don't need you to do that because all of my damage gets done in half a second. Push is a little bit better for TSR this game. Last game they had some issues with that, I think. Had some issues taking towers down early, so this will be a little bit easier. And obviously I can't really fault anybody for going a jungle route, but Keeper Parasite, not really the most synergistic heroes in my opinion. On the other side of Legion, they are going pretty heavy synergy here. Tempest, Monkey King, so they all love that team fight quite a bit. Monkey King massively disruptive in those team fights as he puts the one-gen slam down and he flops everybody around and he's dashing all over the place, and everybody's like, well, target the fucking monkey, and you can't because he's too fast. So their Tempest, of course, love to be like, alright, now you're not going anywhere, and so they can pound in right-click auto attacks onto you and do plenty of damage. So I'm liking Legion's team so far. Hellborn going to pick up the Bubbles combination, so they have the same Parasite Bubbles they did last game. Hopefully they'll be able to put to a slightly better effect this time. They did do very well with it last game. They got plenty of kills. Lots of pick-off, strong initiation, heavy burst magic damage. The issue is they just never used it on that Dark Lady, so hopefully this time they'll do a little better job of targeting the carry, making sure to jump him continuously, because even if you don't kill him, if you're continuously on his ass, then A, it makes him play more cautious, which usually means less farm, and B, you will kill him sometimes, so that will slow him down, and C, even if you don't kill him, forcing him to go back to base, forcing his team to ward up defensively instead of offensively, forcing him to not take risks, that kind of thing, it will help. So just messing with him in any way possible is a good thing, and hopefully they'll focus that a little bit more this time. But Legion so far looking like they've got a short laner, a mid laner, and a jungler, looking for a support and a suicide. Hellborn, meanwhile, have their jungler, suicide, and probably their midder, as Bubbles will hopefully play that role. Please, for the love of God, don't short lane that Bubbles. Anyway, so hopefully they'll be looking for a support and a short laner of their own. So bans are out here from Legion: Pestilence, Torturer, and a Luna getting taken out. So a couple of supports and a mid hero. As a little interesting because I don't think Hellborn really need a mid. Neither do Legion, but they could run that Pesty in the short lane, and maybe that's what they're concerned about, is the Pesty mid game combined with Parasite and Bubbles, and Hellborn decided to take this in 30 minutes instead of the slightly longer time frame that I think that Legion are looking for. Hellborn bans, meanwhile, are Scout, Grinix, and Cersei. Not wanting to deal with that Cersei once again, as she was a massive problem last game. And then, of course, a couple of suicides, because they already have their keeper and bubbles, really. And then Hellborn, or Legion, are still looking for their own suicide, so we'll see what they choose to go here. But I suspect it will be a suicide hero, just because there are plenty of support options really left on the board, and I don't think they need anything in particular. They could probably use another stun, maybe some lockdown. They went with the Torture Cersei last game. Torture and Cersei are both banned out in this situation. But not really by any means do they have to pick one of those up. Rhapsody, for example, still on the board. Pyre still on the board. Empath still on the board. It will be Dark Lady once again, so interesting. Not really sure what they're doing here now, because... Is this going to be a Suicide Monkey King? That's the only thing I can think of. You can't Suicide a Slither, it doesn't work. Tempest obviously going to be in the jungle, because, I mean, we used to see Suicide Tempest, but now that he can't deny it level 1, it doesn't work at all. Slither could be a support here. So, if they pick up a support Slither and Monkey King mid, and then they get a Suicide the last pick, that's got to be what it is. So it's probably going to be a support Slither here. And that's fine. Slither's not my favorite support in the world, but he does do plenty of damage. And really, he's one of those heroes who's like, okay, I have 2 spells. Once I use both of them, it doesn't matter if I die. And that's always nice to have in a support, because you don't really want to expect your support to survive very long in team fights. You're going to be like, alright, I'm going to get my damage off, and then that's it. And after that, you can kill me if you want to, but it's a bit of a waste because I've done my job already. TSR taking quite a bit of time with their 4th pick. Not really sure what they want to go for. It is attacking the Drunken Master. So hopefully he will be short lane, Bubbles mid, Keeper, Suicide, and then Parasite in the woods. Both sides, or sorry, Hellborn looking for a support, Legion looking for a Suicide at this point. And they have a fair bit of options. Midas. So I suspect that is going to be a Suicide Midas, a mid Monkey King, Dark Lady solo short, or not, sorry, Dark Lady short with Slither, and then Tempest in the jungle. Bit of a non-traditional lineup here. TDL, Monkey King, and Midas in particular, heroes that we almost never see in the competitive scene. Midas we've seen every so often. Same thing with, I mean, these are heroes that we do see. It's not like we've never, ever, ever see them. It's not for Bombardier or some shit, but we'll see how this works. I'm not the biggest fan of Suicide Midas. I think that since he got the level 4 ultimate change, that's nice, but not convinced that he's really the best hero for that. Anyway, I'm thinking about that, thinking whether how much I like that, and I'm not a huge fan of Midas in general. I think is the biggest issue. I don't like that hero. Rhapsody, meanwhile, on the Hellborn side will be the last pick as a support. Love it, love it, love it, love it. As she combos very well with Keeper to push extremely well. Now, the only thing that the Hellborn have to be a little concerned about is their late game. Drunken Master is a decent enough semi-carry, but that's just about it. The rest of their team is not going to carry. And Legion side obviously have that Dark Lady and Monkey King. That's a carry, a hard carry, and a semi-carry carry. Like Monkey King's, I think, kind of in the middle in that regard. A little bit harder than most semi-carries. I think he'll carry harder than, say, Kraken. But probably up there with Pestilence and stuff like that, with in terms of heroes that are like, are they a carry, are they semi-carry, right in that middle area. So late game certainly going to Legion. Push is on Hellborn. Team fight is pretty even, in fact, as Hellborn have not only the root but the Rhapsody ultimate as well, and the Kelfield to lock people down. Legion have Poison Burst, Tempest ultimate, and Dark Lady's ult, so team fight's relatively even here. I think a little more defensive on Hellborn, a little more offensive on Legion. And we'll see which one of those works out better. The push is certainly going to go to Hellborn. I don't know if I said that already. Hard late game goes Legion, and gank potentials on Hellborn. Really, the initiation is probably 50-50 as well. Perhaps it's the Hellborn as well. So I think once again Hellborn getting a good lineup. The issue is, for the most part, Legion will do things just about as well as Hellborn. And the one area where they have an advantage in that hard carry, they have a pretty massive advantage. As you know, Legion's burst damage is right there up there with Hellborn's. Their initiation is probably not quite as good, but almost as good. The team fight's just about even. It's pretty much going to entirely be about that late game, and if Legion can get the late game, then they will be able to win the game. If they can't, then Hellborn might be able to stack up all the little advantages that they have and turn them into a victory. Off to the side, Midas can take some staccato stuns and a lunge there. A little bit of stack, in fact. Elemental Warp off to the side, but now he's in trouble. Staccato stun will be back up in 4 seconds. And Rhapsody getting blocked out here by this Drunken. But, yeah, there it is. And now he's dead. Oh god, thank you. Trying to give it to the Drunken Master, which was nice, but it nearly did not happen. Up top, Defense Tower will kill these creeps. So I think Midas is going to get decent enough lane control out of this anyway, but obviously not something he was interested in doing. Probably shouldn't have Elemental Warped where he did, where he just did it in front of them off this cliff over here. Really needed to go over a cliff to live. So once again, the TSR team will get first blood, and we'll see if they can turn that into a better performance they did last game. Up top, this Midas is now going to have some pretty serious issues, having given up that first blood to Drunken Master, who now has boots right off the bat. In mid, Monkey King versus Bubbles should go in favor of Monkey King here. The harass potential is nice from Bubbles, but MK is just really, really hard to kill. So even though the burst damage is there, I don't think that he's going to be able to kill this Monkey King with burst damage. And the sustained auto attacks, I don't think are going to be enough. MK is just going to be like, alright, I'm roaming around. Now the silence is going to be an issue. If Bubbles can get off a good silence in the middle of a Monkey King combo, that could stop him in his tracks and allow him to get a kill. Regardless, up top, we got a suited tri-lane going on, of course. Midas and DM. With the Suns coming out here, Midas could be in a bit of trouble, but he is a strength hero with an escape mechanism, so he should be alright for the most part. It's going to depend really on how active Parasite is. If he comes in with a third stun and that burst damage, then Midas will be in trouble. But Staccato Stun's there, and Elemental Warp away, so that's going to prevent DM from being able to initiate. On bot, continuous toxicity going out, doing stuff to screw with that Keeper of the Forest, obviously, who has brought quite a bit of regen, still 2 Tree Eaters left and a health pot, plus his natural tankiness, but of course they're one of the better zoning supports thanks to that toxicity. He's only level 1, but now TDL level 4 and Keeper only level 1 himself, so TDL off to a really good start once again, and we saw what happened last game when that happened. Keeper missing a CS there. We'll have the creeps under the tower, puts the Nature's Veil up, and we'll help him with his tankiness over here. Take cover as well. I forgot about that, but take cover also messes with Monkey King really hard, because if all of a sudden he can't target anything, or if he only gets 1 dash because it doesn't hit because of the take cover, then that could be a pretty serious issue for him. Nonetheless, doing pretty well here in mid, 320 gold per minute. He is 18-3 compared to Bubbles at 195, 9-1, so certainly winning this middle lane, and not that big a surprise, really. Illusion Rune up top can be bottled, and there's a pause going up, but we don't care. On bot, we've got Dark Lady sitting at 19-3, so Dark Lady and Monkey King both really doing very similarly in terms of farm. Keeper is 4-0, so he's doing not that well, to be honest. Up top, Drunken Master's 19-6, so pretty similar farm between the mid and the bottom. The issue is, of course, that Hellborn or Legion are now running a jungler, which they did not do last game. They're winning middle and they're winning bot, so they're winning 3 lanes here essentially, or they're winning 2 lanes. They're losing top, so that's going to offset with bottom, and the jungle is relatively even, 300 gold per minute for Parasite. Sorry, not even close to relatively even. As Tempest for some reason is 222 GPM on bot. Keeper taking poison spray, but obviously the Nature's Veil up, and so he is alright. So gold relatively even, but experience going in favor of Legion actually, as despite the first blood, they are doing better with that Monkey King, I think, in middle is really the big issue. Bubbles grabs the rune, I think. No, it was top, it was haste. For some reason I thought that was a Prussian rune. Evidently there is some lag. So haste and Monkey King now presents a bit of an issue, because I know he can get to another lane fast, but haste and Monkey King is freaking annoying to deal with. Up top, Midas actually going to get a kill as Drunken falls to the tower, so that's really good. And he's going to get a double tap.
Double tap.
Wow. So some issues here with apparently with locale. TSR is in Europe and MiM is in Australia. Apparently it's 4 AM there. I believe that. So Midas now, that's actually going to be a pretty big deal for him because he not only got the experience for the DM kill, but also the gold as well for the Rhapsody kill, and we'll see if they can turn that into something. Experience they going out is once again I'm missing kills all over the place. Darkblade's there and no Nature's Veil if you got Darkblades on you. So TDL now taking herself to be right up against that Drunken Master, of course, who got the first blood. So between the CS and the kill now, and Drunken Master's death, although he did get a second kill, but didn't get the experience. Up top, meanwhile, Midas going to get a kill on Monkey King with the haste coming in here as well. The Drunken Master also going to fall, so that's a 2-0. As Monkey King came in. Now DD Parasite going to try to kill MK. Will kill him. Not that surprising. He's still going to try to chase down this Midas, but I don't think that's going to be anything. Nope. So 2 for 1 there, it ends up being, as Monkey King also falls, but I think they'll take that on Legion. And TDL's continuing to put harassment in here with his keeper. Up top, Midas going to avoid the golden salvo. Leech is there as well as the double damage, so he's going to try to chase him down here. Facehog not up for another 30 seconds. So Midas being the generally tanky strength hero he is, will get away. Ghost Marcher's picked up on MK. So he's going to be even more mobile now. And TDL has taken over the farm for the game. So Legion taking a golden experience advantage here. Tempest still having a hell of a time. 220 gold per minute here at 7 minutes 14 seconds is not very good. Usually by this point, especially considering he hasn't ganked at all, just to complete the free farm in the jungle, he didn't get any camps warded, so he was totally fine. And up top, nope, nothing. I thought Rhapsody was on top of Midas, but Midas is in fact boarding top. Excuse me. Rhapsody's level 5, that's worth noting. Drunken Master's level 5, and Midas is level 7, so those kills really make a big difference here. Golden Salvo there, get a couple of CS. Elemental Warp is available, but there, Drunken Master has the stun, getting a stagger in as well. There it is. Going to try to kill this guy, and he should drop here. A couple more auto attacks. There it is. So once again, I think the Elemental Warp not a great choice there, and he needs sort of to use that to go over cliffs. Up top, Ruin going to be contested there, and MK is going to die thanks to the Kelpfield and Parasite coming in. Bubbles did not get it, I don't think. I think Monkey King did actually bottle it, yeah. Regen. But obviously not very helpful under those circumstances. Tempest coming in here to try to push bot. Poison Ward also going down. And they should get some solid push out of this. Level 3 elementals, of course. And the Hell Cannon will die, having a Ballista coming up here. And this should be a tower kill on bot. Root is available from Keeper. And he's got help from the Shrunken. So I think they're going to look for a jump here. Now, Bubbles coming in and a port as well. This is going to be a tower kill. Glyph going off, but Bubbles coming in here with everything onto Drunken Master. Staccato Stun's going to stop the Oh god, he put it off, but the Staccatos were still on him. Monkey King coming off the side, Dance Floor as well. Tempest's going to drop here in the meanwhile. Immediate Rhapsody ultimate, saving a ton of damage from Dark Lady, who's now going to drop as well. Salvo coming in from Midas, and he's going to try to turn this around as the entire Hellborn Legion team is here. So is, actually Hellborn's not. Off to the side, Monkey King looking for a jump on the Keeper, but he's invisible. Nothing going to be there. And he will just run away. So, a couple of hero picks there for Hellborn. They do lose the tower. Not that big a deal, as Parasite was not there. It's really a 4v5 engagement. They get a couple of hero kills. They have to be pretty happy about that. Tempest ultimate there was just wrong. Like, he did it when Rhapsody was outside of it and still had the staccato on him. So, it was immediately cancelled. I don't know why he chose to jump it there, but Parasite coming in here with TDL, or with Bubbles and Drunken, so this is going to be an easy kill. Kelpville going down, really not even necessary. But they do get the quite easy kill on Tempest, who's not really having a game here. I'm a little concerned about that. Hellborn taking the golden experience lead, despite the tower kill on bot in favor of Legion. Dark Lady once again free farming down here, as she has ceded the gold crown to both Parasite and Drunken. So Hellborn in this game off to a better start than they were last game. We'll see if that matters. Of course, last game they did still win the laning phase and ended up losing the game. But they just have a stronger mid-game carry lineup of this game, I think. They weren't, without the Gemini, with the Drunken Master of the Gemini, they're more about winning this game relatively early. Gemini, of course, usually tends to need a little bit more build-up. And they have stronger push, too. That's a pretty clear advantage. Much, much stronger than the last game. So they're going to be able to start taking these towers down quickly, and they're already doing so. Top tower in plenty of danger here. Should drop. There's the 10th creep wave, and this is going to be dead tower. So 1-for-1 towers there. Up on top, Midas was invis, I think, but not anymore. On bottom, Hellborn getting pressured, and Drunken will port in. So that won't be a secondary tower kill for Legion, but they are alright, didn't get turned on. Mid tower now looks like it's going to get pressured. Tempest Elementals coming in. Off to the side, though, Bubbles and Parasite here, perhaps looking for a jump. Shellsurf going out, and Tempest walk down the river, so he should be alright. So they're coming in off of the side, and that's going to prevent anything from happening. Glowstone on Monkey King, so potential icon, I guess. I think Frostwolf would be the obvious choice, but if he's going to go that, I don't understand why he wouldn't go Icebrand first. So to me, that sort of thinks icon, which honestly, I like that. I mean, that's a hero that needs a lot of regen, and combat consumable regen like that Gift of the Goddess is going to help him out a lot. Because he is so active and he wants to play, you know, gank so much. I like that pickup, actually. So, let's see if that's what he does decide to get. It could also still be that Frostwolf thing. That's, or the Staff of the Master. Those are the only options, but I suspect we won't see a Staff, because I don't think his ult boosts. No, I'm not sure what it would even do. Make it not combat consumable. Root going down there onto Monkey King, plus the Kelpville. Going to try to live here. Wanjin Slam is there. Vaulting over into the trees, but they're still going to see him. That's an easy kill. As Rhapsody picks up with Sagato stuns. Parasite finishing off the Codex at 13 minutes here. So once again having strong farm. 370 gold per minute now. And Legion side have plenty of heroes for that. Monkey King obviously not that powerful, even at 996 health, no vestments. So he's going to be vulnerable. Tempest very vulnerable. Slowly very vulnerable. Even Dark Lady at this point is extremely vulnerable. 872 gold per minute, or health, excuse me. That would be an impressive gold per minute. Bot tower will be denied. So hopefully they're a little more aggressive early on the CDL, because she does go once again going for the cleave build. Not going to be nearly as fast as it was last game, thanks to the deaths that she's taken, and the fact that she only has one hero kill and doesn't really have as much free farm as she did last game. Jump going to be here on Drunken Master, plus the Glacial Blast and the ultimate. Going to be cancelled here by Parasite, but actually he gets the face hug on Monkey King. And he will drop. So I don't understand what that was, but it wasn't good. Perhaps figuring Tempest Ultimate was out to end anyway, so might as well silence the Monkey King, but basically he's jumped into his death there. And there's going to be a mid-push here from Legion. Dance floor obviously making it a little bit harder. So 4 heroes grouped up here for the Legion side. Dark Lady still free farming bot. Kelpville goes on to 3. Midas easily takes the Sun. So does Monkey King. Tempest going to get caught out though, and he will drop. Poison Burst going on to just the 1, so it only hits Drunken Master. And Rhapsody coming in here looking for some help as he's trying to save her teammate. Dance Floor goes down, will help out. keep Drunken Master topped off. Midas here clean up the creep wave as Dark Lady is once again pushing bot pretty heavily. And now she's in some trouble, I think. She will go off to the side, I think, grab a port and be alright, so... Nope, they're not going to go for her. Interesting to take the Skeleton King over the bag bottom. Yeah, she will just port away and she'll be fine. Goes top. So once they see her, obviously they're like, alright, don't need to do this anymore. Ghost March is finished there on Midas. And he has a bottle and a ring of sorcery, so he's doing fairly well here. 272 gold per minute. In fact, for a suicide, he's doing very well. DM still hides from the game, followed by Dark Lady and then Parasite. So we'll see if Hellborn actually Revward going down there will spot Keeper, but he'll just run away. Parasite's gonna have to get a little more active than he's been. I think he hasn't really been able to use his codex yet, and the fact that, you know, well, he might have. I don't know. But he's been involved in a couple of fights, but not nearly as much as it should have been. I don't think. Looking for a pick, perhaps out of this Tempest. $25 for 100. Okay. Monkey King jumping around middle, and his Word of Sight is there. It's obviously the Hellborn, so Hasted Bubbles coming in here as well, looking for a pick. Has the Kelp Field, not available, actually doesn't have enough mana. Jump onto Monkey King, there's their Kelp Field, and he's going to be in a lot of trouble. Staccato Sun's helping to finish him off. Salvo and everything going off, but Rhapsody going to stop all the damage from coming in. And Tempest is off, the side Glacial Blasts are down, but he's going to take a leech there, and he's in some trouble. Drunken Master jumping on top of him. Staccatos will help finish him off, despite the Astrolabe. And that's double tap there for Bubbles. Top tower drops to the Slither and Dark Lady combination. Salvo going out to help clean up the creep wave, as that Revward is getting killed by the tower. But this is going to be a mid-tower kill in favor of Hellborn.
The Hellborn have destroyed a Legion tower.
And there's the leech there onto Midas. He will Elemental Warp away and should be alright. Immediate creep clearing. Obviously, the Midas is becoming a bit of an issue when it comes to the opposing creeps, but not enough. As the Hellborn's push is substantially better than it was last game, and they're taking this tower down really fast. Top secondary tower getting pressured by Legion as well, so this is actually looking like a tower trade, but it's going to favor Hellborn. Midas getting rooted there, but immediately gets out of it. Monkey King now on the warpath, will pick off Bubbles. Keeper gets the invis off on himself. Poison Spray onto Parasite though, and he's going to need some help here. There goes the Salvo as well. He's going to drop, so that's 2 for nothing. And Legion Tower will stay up. Dark Lady going to come in here and look for a pick. Nature's Veil. Keeper just going to run away. Charging Strikes there. Not a great idea from Keeper. Choosing to break the invis, as TDL was right there. And in fact, top tower will drop as Hellborn backed off. Legion get 3 kills and a secondary tower up top. It's looking like they're going to push this mid tower as well. And that'll be an easy kill. Glyph goes off, but not really going to do much. Bit of a waste. Just slowing them down a little bit. That Midas just cleans creep waves so efficiently. So only 1 outer tower remaining from for Hellborn, and that's fueling most of the gold lead on this Legion side, as there are only 2 tier 1s for them that are dead. It's a little surprising, really, considering the Keeper Rhapsody combination. That push is extremely hard, but this Midas is becoming a bit of an issue. So is Monkey King, really. Between the 2 of them, they can just destroy creep waves. And honestly, Dark Lady as well, with the Rune Cleaver and the Charging Strikes. It's just their pushes evaporate. And nice creep wave built up, and it's like, well, whatever. Off to the side, Temp is going to get cut out with Dance Force. Staccato Sun's helping out. Astrolabe is there, but he's still going to drop thanks to the Kelp Field. Poison Spray not going to hit anything. And they will clean up these elementals. It's a nice pick there. Hopefully going to turn into a bot tower push. And it looks like that's the direction they're running. They could also take mid, which is pretty damn low, but not deniable yet, so don't really have to address it yet. Dark Lady is going to grab a port, I think, and port the hell out of there, as she doesn't want to be here anymore. Probably should be realizing that, yeah, that's where the Hellborn team is. Parasite gonna grab a mid tower, and then they'll just be like push time. As the dogs are there. Not even gonna drop a dance floor, not really necessary. The dogs are plenty.
The Hellborn have destroyed a Legion tower.
So I'm much preferring the aggressive push here from Hellborn compared to last game where they really just didn't do anything of the sort. Now their pushing power wasn't as strong, but no doubt it's a better strategy this game. A couple of ports coming in middle. They will get the tower kill here, but Drunken Master jumping on top has the ult out, so he can't be targeted. Charging strikes onto two, but now she's going to take a lot of damage, and actually Dark Lady will fall. A little too aggressive there. Monkey King in some trouble, flip-flopping around, trying to live, and charges through everything, but immediately dies pretty much, thanks to last auto attack from Bubbles, so he gets a double tap. Midas off to the side, looking to get away, and should be alright. It's a 2-for-0 there. The Legion do, actually, in fact, Midas portal healing away from that Bubbles. We'll take a shell serve here. But there's really not anything Bubbles can do to lock him down anymore without a kill field. It takes the stun there and a lot of magic damage. Shrunken had picked on a lot of that Drunken Master. I can certainly understand why, considering the Midas and... So they're here now. Midas is off to the side. Invis Rhapsody. Dance floor goes down, so they're going to be able to see him. Staccato stuns will stop the teleport, and now actually Midas is in some trouble. And he will drop. So that was an extremely long chase, but they do get the kill. That was surprising. So they're meanwhile farming middle, perhaps in a little bit of danger, but Parasite not able to find the angle. Obviously the Rev Ward there, he walked right by it, so he was like, bye. So Parasite's farm here is pretty solid, 306 gold per minute, but it's been dropping, and he just hasn't been that effective, I think. Bubbles remaining quite so, but Parasite just not finding the angles to pick heroes off, as Legion are taking the right engagements, they're farming in safer places, making sure that he can't deal with them. So they're now up pushing mid, as he knows Parasite's bot, drops a ward in that lane. TDL perhaps off to the side looking for a jump onto this Parasite. Ghost Marchers are active. Dark Blades and Charging Strikes are there. This is going to be a bit of an issue here for Parasite. No ability, obviously, to infest a creep. But here comes Bubbles, and now there's going to be a turn onto Dark Lady as she gets bursted down. So Hellborn with the appropriate response there, and Port Ace a little too aggressive by herself. Not quite able to finish off that Parasite. So they're now in some trouble as well. Will get jumped on by this Drunken Master, and this is going to be an easy kill. Poison Burst goes off onto actually two. It just clipped that Bubbles, but it's still going to be plenty to kill in there. Tempest off the side, getting the ultimate onto just this Drunken Master, but immediately canceled by Bubbles. Now the rest of the Hellborn team is here. Rhapsody ultimate running a ton of damage, and Tempest is going to fall in the meantime. Finally, we get a pick off onto Rhapsody, of all heroes. Parasite off in the woods, looking for an escape. Just is going to pour it out, and actually is going to live. Midas jumping off to the side into the boat, but Ryuk goes out onto Monkey King, and he will be in a ton of trouble here. Still trying to get away. He is so mobile. Midas coming in with a burst once again. Monkey King does not get through the trees, though. Has the mount active once again. Wanjin Slam going down, and he's continually trying to get something here. Will just run away. Drunken Master is still alive. Dark Lady comes back in, of course, as he's alive. And man, that Bubbles is going to be pissed at that. Monkey King is just annoyingly hard to kill. Icon of the Goddess, of course, doing a lot there. But Rev Ward actually is right on top of Keeper here, so he's in some trouble. Dark Lady looking for this Drunken Master will find her. And second Rev Ward goes down, and Keeper is like, what is this? Actually, I believe the Leech was destroyed there by Midas, so he will live. And that's going to turn into a turnaround here from Legion as they ended up taking 4. So they lost 3 and took 4, as that fight went on for about 5.5 years. That Monkey King, man, that icon is just doing work. Looking like he's going for Shrunken next. I like that. Only 2 charged on it, but I think that the kill that he got there, the Gift of the Goddess, made him so much harder to kill than he should have been. And obviously the 1600 health helps out a lot. So now we have gold lead for Legion and an experience lead for Hellborn. Relatively even game, 24 minutes in. But the longer this continues, like I said earlier, the more it favors Legion side because they have the late game here. Drunken Master is going to start to fall off a little bit. Bubbles and Parasite, I think, are already starting to see their effectiveness slip. As Legion side pick up more and more items, they're harder and harder to kill, and that burst damage from the magic just doesn't get any better. Parasite is leveling up the Codex, that's not true. He will get better in terms of his burst damage, but to a point, and not by enough really to address how much tankier Legion are getting. especially because he's single target. So they're going to scout people out with those wards. Drunken in the front with the Nature's Veil on him, looking for a pick, not going to find one. Parasite off the side will jump onto Tempest and should kill him pretty easily there. Poison Spray into a couple, but not nearly enough to save him. As that is now Codex. What am I even looking at? Level 3. Top and bottom both getting pushed in. As Midas and TDL are sort of split pushing here. We'll put some pressure onto these base towers, but not too much. Bot tower taking some damage, top tower taking some damage. Just Midas is still hanging around. Might want to be a little bit careful about that, as here come people. Parasite with the leech there. Does not have the face hug quite yet, but doing a lot of damage. Elemental Warp is running away and will stun Parasite out here, plus the portal key and a port out from Midas. So he should be fine. And then he is. So a little bit of split pushing going down there as Midas picks up a Spell Shards on top of PK Ring of Sorcery, Bottle, and Ghost Marchers. TDL getting the Firebrand here, so presumably going for the Dawnbringer once again on top of the Abyssal and Rune Flavor. Her farm is doing very well. She has once again become the top farmer in the game at 440 gold per minute. Obviously not the 600 plus that she was last game, but or at least she was at least in the 500 range by this point last game. I think she was at the 600 point too. Regardless, still a solid enough game for her. Not the best, not as impressive as last game's complete domination, but she's also played a little riskier. She's gotten picked off a couple of times, as the Hellborn have done a better job of addressing her and supporting their teammates if they get jumped by her. She isn't able to burst them down quite as fast. Parasite, running into the Legion jungle, is now beset on all sides by opposing heroes. And they're going to find him, but he's not going to do anything over here. Monkey King's yelling things. So I guess they thought that there was more backup here than there was, but there isn't. Invisibly, they're going to be jumped, perhaps. Nope, the Rev Ward is there, does spot her, obviously, but we'll see. Another Rev going down there, and they're going to try to counter this with actually jump there from Parasite, and he's not going to get the kill on Slither, despite the Shell Surf. The Astrolabe helping out a lot. So they're finally going to die, but gets the Poison Burst off onto like 4. Tempest ult immediately cancelled. He's getting locked down a little bit, but Parasite's taking a bunch of damage from Monkey King off to the side. Tempest does fall finally. Midas comes in. We'll get the kill onto Rhapsody. TDL doing a lot of damage here in the middle of this fight. Dark Blazer on your Dark Master. He's going to drop despite the Nature's Veil. Bubble's the next target of choice, it seems. Puts to take cover down, but it's not going to matter, I don't think. Actually does get the port out. Off to the side, Midas trying to catch this Keeper of the Forest. Puts Nature's Veil up, and he will be okay. Salvo misses. And Dust goes out, actually, and now he's in a lot of trouble, as there's the Wanted Slam and the Initiation for Monkey King. So ends up being a 2 for 3 in favor of Legion. And most importantly, TDL stays alive and Drunken Master dies, as that's a really big factor at this point. Parasite and Bubbles the only ones alive. Parasite does have a face hug, no kelp field from Bubbles, and it looks like there's going to be a mid-tower push here. Off to the side, Midas jumping on nothing. Codex there on the Monkey King. TDL's just like, fine, I'll take the damage. And now with Rhapsody back up, not feeling like they want to play this anymore. So they will back off. So one fight there from Legion. They get some more damage into a base tower, as mid, bot, and top have all taken not insignificant amounts. Meanwhile, they still have their secondary towers in every single lane. Mid tower and top tower are fairly low, but haven't really seen too much pushing from Hellborn recently, so not going to be the biggest deal. Charging Strikes and plus the Dark Blades will help finish off these Ancients relatively fast. Bubbles is here, but it's not going to be able to do anything about it. Has access to Kelp Field, actually will put it down. Rhapsody coming off to the side, but TDL's just like, I'll take that stun, thanks. Poison Spray into nothing, in fact, and TDL's in some trouble now, will die. As Parasite comes in from the side. So they're in some trouble. Face Hug's there and the Leech, and she's definitely going to drop here. Tempest trying to provide some support, but will not be able to. So a couple nice picks there from Hellborn as TDL got a little greedy farming the Ancients. Now it looks like they're going to turn this into a Conquer kill. And TDL will buy back. So they're going to have to be careful about this. Because Legion know what's happening. They had a ward right there. And Hellborn know that Legion know what's happening because they just countered the ward. They know that they're here, and they're going to back off there, which is the right decision. With the buyback from Dark Lady, you don't want to fight this. Tempest and Monkey King off to the side. Tempest still does not have a Elemental Void, but still running in there. Getting bashed a bunch by Kong. He'll lose like half his health. Codex continue to be leveled up by Parasite. I believe that's the last level. Nope, level 4. So he should have a 5 relatively soon. DD balled it up by Monkey King there. All 5 heroes here for Hellborn are grouped up middle. I think Tempest just bought an Alchemist Bones. We're 30 minutes into the game. I don't know what that's about. Dude, Shrunken. Like, why would you buy an Alch Bones? That makes no sense to me. Tempest is having a weird game. 222 gold per minute. He's not farming well at all. He hasn't been the whole game. He's made some curious decisions in terms of his ult decisions. Jumping on TDL once again, and she just gets destroyed. And there's the burst damage. Monkey King gonna respond there, but a nice Rhapsody ultimate saving a bunch. Tempest ultimate on a 4. Rhapsody's not able to do anything about this, and they're just gonna clean up. Root finally comes out, but the poison spray and burst onto everybody. Parasite having to run off to the side. He's gonna drop the poison damage despite what he tries to do. Keeper over here is also gonna drop. Drunken Master getting chased down. Beautiful Tempest ultimate there, and Drunken's gonna fall here. Rhapsody the only one alive, trying to stay that way, but it's not gonna happen. She gets stunned out and killed. So, despite the immediate initial burst onto Dark Lady, the rest of the Legion side just clean up with a 4-man Tempest ultimate and an easy poison spray and poison burst from, so they're doing tons of damage, plus Midas dropping his stuff, Keeper or MK dropping his stuff. This is gonna be Rax. Drunken Master buys back, but the only other one with the buyback is Bubbles and has not used it yet. The DD Rune on MK obviously helping out a lot as well, so Hellborn getting a top tower kill thanks to the creeps, but this will be mid-Rax.
A Hellborn barracks has been destroyed.
Keeper is back up. And they'll choose to leave now. So despite losing the TDL really early on, they still managed to destroy that team fight thanks to a fantastic Tempest ultimate. And now obviously a pretty substantial map control lead, I think is the best way to put it. Their golden experience isn't that much in their favor, about just over 9k gold and 5.5k experience, which is solid, but not the best. And now Kong we're going to be attempted by the Hellborn team. There is some vision here from Legion, so I think they do know this is happening. We'll see if they address it. Looks like Dark Lady is trying to run over here as fast as they can, and this is not happening very quickly. So there will be time for Legion to address this. Monkey King is now here. They know what's going on. Kelfield onto him, plus the Codex and Staccato stuns. Activates the Shrunken Head, trying to get the hell out of there. Just run, dude. You can take the Kelfield stun, but instead he will die. I don't know, if you put the Shrunken Head up, just run out of Kelfield. TDL putting the ultimate down onto the side. Midas going to miss his entire combo, but Parasite takes the Dark Blades and the Tainted Soul. He's in some trouble. Will drop here. Nice wrap ult, saving him once again. Kroot goes down and kills Dark Lady again. Poison Burst onto 5, though, as Parasite finally falls. Buys back immediately, though. There goes Rhapsody as well. We'll see if Midas can get out of here. He can. Dust goes out into a bunch. That Slither's doing so much damage. Bubbles will also fall. And the rest of the Hellborn team is on retreat. Parasite obviously coming back, looking for a pick on a Midas. Will find one as Leech finishes him off. But Monkey King is doing damage here. Drunken Master taking some. So they're going to take the Codex, and here's going to drop. So now it's Monkey King by himself. He's going to try to do something here. I'm not sure it's the best idea. Bubbles coming back in with a buyback, and Monkey King's going to die. Tempest is here. No Elemental Void for another 1 second, though. He's so close. And are they going to get it? Yes, they get it onto 2. Keeper does not have a root, obviously, so there's going to be a kill on the Bubbles pretty easily. Yes, Midas buys back as well, and actually they get the Parasite first as Bubbles, so buyback central, as we saw a BB on Midas and Bubbles and Parasite, so this is going to be the cleanup of mid-racks now. They can probably take Kongor as well. Instead they're just going to choose to go top. Midas cleaning up the creep wave, of course, with his various abilities. Drunken Master is alive. Gonna jump onto this Monkey King, doing a ton of physical damage. Just gonna pop the Shrunken Head though and run away. We'll be alright. Glacial Blast not very effective against a Drunken Master with his ult up. And mid drops to the creeps. Salvo there and the Lion's Pride both miss, and Tempest is in some trouble now. Puts the Glacial Blast down, but it's not gonna make a difference. Nature's Veil is there, and actually with the Portal Key away, he could be, now they see him again, so push book forward, plus the stagger, the lunge is here as well as. So that was a pretty terrible Portal Key. I don't know what's going on with Iroka here, because he's been playing like crap for a lot of this game, and then he gets these huge elemental voids that are like, well, that just won that fight and very possibly the game. On bot, Might is going to port in here with Dark Lady, going to do some damage to this tower. And Hellborn going to respond to it as well with a port of their own. Drunken Master is here, so is Bubbles. So Hellborn's certainly on the back foot here, but by no means are they out of it. I think it's getting to the point where they could be, just because the carries and Legion are going to start to become an issue. But they've done a really good job of shutting out this Dark Lady. As she's died fairly early on in most of these fights, has not really been able to get out too much damage. Now, they've still lost most of the fights, as I think they've had to focus too many resources on her just because of how little sustained damage that they have. They have all this burst damage, and they just put it all on her, and then they have no more damage the rest of the fight. But nonetheless, I mean, that is their right decision. Like, kill the Dark Lady before she can do anything. Monkey King off to the side. No vision of him. But once again, I think they're looking for Kongor. Forward to sight spots Rhapsody. Twice. Obviously, Shieldbreaker, Undrunken doing plenty of damage. Part forward there. We'll get the stuns onto TDL. Once again, she is going to drop. And Shrunken Head, Monkey King will easily kill Rhapsody. So 1 for 1 right now. Take over on Bubbles. Trying to prevent more initiation. Untouchable is Drunken as he's running in there. We'll get the Wanted Slam, but they'll be fine on Hellborn. So once again, they get the pick onto TDL. 370 gold per minute. She's just not doing that well. But it's the continuous split pushing that's forcing this Hellborn team back. Here comes a port. Bubbles also running top. And Keeper going to be left middle as they're trying to address the split push here. So they're going to just... No, you're screwed, buddy. So notable 32 to 27 hero kills in favor of Hellborn, as they do continually get picks, but they're still down in both gold and experience, and of course that mid lane, a massive issue. Keeper off to the side. We'll put the Banshee Veil up and should be alright. Meteor goes down, but still... actually, Glacial Blaster there as well, so he's going to Invis once again and walk out there, as there is no dust or anything. Tempest obviously that Portal Key, providing quite a bit of utility. Hellborn's side have Astrolabe with the Sorcery on, and Shaman Tendrils on Keeper, so he's pretty tanky, pretty helpful to his team. Bubbles has a Pushbook Portal Key. We've seen that Pushbook come into play really a couple of times. Pushbook also on Rhapsody, very helpful. Parasite obviously just the Codex, Ghost March's Blood Chalice build, and DN with the Shrunken Bulwark, Shrunken Head, Shieldbreaker, excuse me, and Ghost March. There's lots and lots of physical damage, reasonably tanky with that Shrunken, obviously preventing a lot of damage from Southern Tempest and Midas. But he's just not that strong a carry at this point. He's going to start to taper off a little bit, as he puts a lot of damage out, and it is single target. And that's his really biggest issue, is he's super good at picking people off. He'll do sustained damage throughout the game because the physical damage scales better. But he's just he can only kill one thing. Kongor being attempted once again by Hellborn. And all sorts of stuff to be countered by a Legion. Dance Storage down. It's just not happening fast at all. At this rate, it's going to take them like 2.5 minutes to kill Kongor. And obviously they're scouted now by the Tempest Elemental. Glacial Blast there as Tempest is getting jumped, but actually he will die before getting an ultimate off. Poison Force causes under a couple, but a Shrunken Head up from DM will stop all the damage. Root from Keeper, and that's not going to do too much with the Shrunken Head from Monkey King. Nobody on Kelpfield on the back onto Midas. Bubbles coming back in here. Dark Lady is in some trouble as the fight's really disparate. Off to the side. Finally, Keeper will drop to the Monkey King, who has a Shroud, so he'll just be able to get the Drunken as well. Wow. Does manage to finish Drunken off. Meanwhile, off to the side, we need to get the pick on Rhapsody from Midas, so that's not that big a surprise. So, a fight happening in like 8 different places. And that looks like the Legionary are going to turn this into a Kongor kill. And they're doing it much faster than Hellborn were. As the big old monkey is flipping around. So this will be a token for Dark Lady, and that's going to be a big problem for Hellborn. Because now they can just take a second set of racks pretty much without having to deal with anything. And they're just going to run bot, I think. Actually, off to the side, Elemental Void onto 2. That's a huge deal. They're both going to drop easily here. And that's going to be a genocide. Nobody has buyback except for Bubbles. Keeper's back up in 10 seconds, but he won't have a root. So this could be game. Easy bot racks. Should be easy top racks as well, as Drunk is now back for 20 seconds. A full minute on both Bubbles and Parasite, although Bubbles can buy back. Keeper's back here. Rhapsody is as well. Gonna stop the port, as they're trying to do something. Midas porting top of this post haste. We'll clean up the creep wave. And the rest of Legion side going to just be like, alright, time to kill top. There goes the tower real fast. Bubbles put the kelp field onto 3. Monkey King immediately takes a stun. And TDL drops in half a second, but of course she has a token. Now gonna get hit once again. Rhapsody ultimate going off in the background, not doing too much though. Poison burst onto a couple. Keeper's dead. We'll see what if Drunken can out of this. No, he cannot. And that's 2 deaths. Power drops finally. Rhapsody now going to be in a lot of trouble. She's dropping. There's the GG well plays in the CC vote. Run, Rap. Not going to happen. So that's the game. They do get the kill onto Dark Lady by Parasite, but whatever. That's the game. Goes to Legion once again, as the Dark Lady strat didn't work nearly as well this time. But the Tempest Elemental Voids, there were a few huge ones that basically won them the game. They turned into massive fights that turned into racks for Kongor kills, and then that turned into the game. So well played there from Bugs' Mexican, taking this 2-0 over TSR. And I'm liking this team, man. I'm hoping we'll see more of them. They've done pretty well in both of these games, showing that they can do the single core hard carry strat. They can go more of a team-oriented build, as in fact TDL was the 3rd highest farm in their own team, with both Midas and Monkey King doing better. And Tempest arguably more valuable, as TDL just died at the beginning of all of those fights, and Tempest and Elemental Voids were a huge part of why they were winning them. But anyway, this series does go 2-0 in favor of MiM, and that will move them on to the semifinals, while TSR will be knocked out of this Ultimate Series tournament, and that will do it.